Good day and greetings from the Great White North. My name is Prickly Poo and welcome to day 84 of a year of change. It's the end of the week, so we're going to do sort of a quick wrap up. This one's going up a little bit later, and that's sort of what I want to talk about. Just basically the changes that have been going on over the past week and things like that. Because it's one of those things that in my head I have one argument, and then the logical part of me looks at it and goes, no, you're using it as an excuse. So, we'll start at the beginning. I started up my new shift, so I'm going in later in the day, and I'm working from about 3 to 11 p.m., obviously. And so, generally, I don't live that far from work. So, when I come home, I still have a small window of time before midnight hits, before I can, have supper or anything. Now, the part before work is fine. I'm still getting up to the regular time. I've got tons of time to actually record and get everything, rendered and posting and all the other good stuff. But the problem is I'm still on that same eating schedule that I was before, where I'll have a small breakfast and then usually coffee throughout the day, and then when I come home, I'll have something, and then I'm up for a few hours. The problem is that because I'm still getting up at the same time, I'm still just sort of going to bed roughly at the same time. So what I found over the past 2 or 3 days is that, at the beginning of the week anyway, that when I came home, I was binging basically, because I thought, okay, I've got half an hour, I can, I'll make something. And if you go back and look at my food diary, there's, they're big meals at the end of the day. And half the time I didn't finish them. I still recorded all the calories because it's easier for me to go and record them and then not have to go back and go, well, I didn't technically eat this or this or this. But then I'm going to bed full every night, which I don't like, because that's how I used to eat all the time. I was just always full. So I thought, okay, well, maybe I should try to eat while I'm at work, maybe try to fix my schedule that way. But of course, it's just no time really while I'm there. So I thought, okay, here's what I'll do. When I get home, I'll still record the food, but if it goes past midnight, then, because I'm still awake for a couple of hours, I'll count that. So I took things a little easier, and I was able to prepare stuff, but still very late in the day, I'm very tired, and I started getting lazy. So that really didn't quite work out, because I have to go back and add stuff to yesterday if I just happen to be out past midnight. Or failed to put it in there. And at that stage, then it starts getting really rocky. Pretty sure everything is still accurate, but because of the way that my eating habits have changed this week, I don't know if I've actually made any progress. So we will see tomorrow when I do my weigh-in. But I just sort of got to a stage where I would get up in the morning, I would have some food, go to work, have coffee all day, come home, and then binge eat for about half an hour. And it's, again, not going over, but still having 1,200 calories in a single meal is a lot of food. And it just got to a point where I'm like, okay, I've got to do something. I have to eat while I'm at work. So Thursday, I thought, all right, I will find something relatively good, do all my stuff. I didn't actually have time to do my treadmill the full hour on Wednesday. So I ended up doing it Thursday, so I had a whole honkin' bunch of calories to use up. Sorry, something in the throat. So I thought, okay, well, I could probably get something and sort of not exactly have a cheat day, but I know I'm not going to eat when I go home, so I have a whole bunch of calories I can use there. So, of course, I'm thinking, well, I did, McDonald's and Wendy's and Burger King and all the other good stuff, and I thought, no, I'll stay away from that. So in the end, I ended up going to Subway. I still got a regular sub, but I didn't lamb-base it with extra cheese and bacon and all the other stuff. Had that while I was at work, and things were a little bit better. Still not really staying on target the way I have been for the past few weeks. Anyway, yesterday, got up, did my treadmill, and felt like shit the entire day. And I don't know if it was the heat, because it's very, very hot now. Put my air conditioners in today. Thank God for air conditioning. Or whoever. But just felt horrible all day, and to a point that I was just sort of queasy and just exhausted and tired. And it's really the way I was feeling before we started this whole thing. So just basically because I'm not eating properly. I'm eating great big clumps of food, and I'm going to bed full. So I thought yesterday I ended up leaving work at lunch, coming home, and getting some of the frozen grapes that I bought a few days ago, took those back to work, and that's what I had for my lunch. And then when I came, well, we'll deal with when I came home later. So I started feeling better after that, and things were okay. Not great, but enough that, I wasn't on the verge of just going, fuck it, I'm going home. So anyway, last night, still not feeling good. And I should warn you, these are all realizations that I had today, not yesterday. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done this. But last night, I'm just really tired. I'm like, screw it. I have a bunch of calories I can use. I'm going to record it for after midnight, and things are all wonky anyway. So I went to a local place and grabbed pizza and garlic fingers. I thought, it's okay. As long as I don't go over, I'll be fine. Came home, didn't go over, but still eating a lot of food in one sitting, and then going to bed full. So, when I got up this morning, of course, that old feeling of, I just don't want to get up, I don't want to do anything, I don't want to go anywhere, I don't want to shower, I don't want to put on pants, I don't want to do any of the stuff that we normally do. And that's really when I first started going, this is bad, I gotta review what I've been doing all week. So, I've done it again today, just had pizza and garlic fingers, because, again, feel like shit, and I know that's probably adding to it, but I'm to a stage, at least now, where I'm going, okay, I can do my treadmill, and I won't be over, not by a long shot, hopefully, if everything goes well, and just sort of go from there. So, the main reason why I'm sort of bringing this up to you is because throughout this entire week, because of that small change, and it's only 4 hours difference, and I'm not going to bed any earlier, I'm not really waking up any earlier. It's just because where that time frame is, where I was doing those regular meals and normal size meals, that has completely fucked everything up. And I don't want to get to a stage where I'm copying the wrong stuff into MyFitnessPal and not tracking that properly, because then it's very easy to go, it's fine, I'll just take a cheat day. Which is what I was going to do today. I was like, I don't want to track it, I'll put it in, but I know I'm going to go over and it'll be fine. But once I start doing that, then it's just going to be easy for me to say, well, it's the weekend. I'll just do the weekend and we'll start fresh on Monday. And then Monday sort of slide by again. So I really don't want to do that. So I want to make sure that, though the meals I've had today are shit, and I've got to go get some more fruit and vegetables and good stuff, just at least acknowledging that and being able to look at it and say, this is why I'm screwing things up, makes me feel a little bit better, at least. I haven't really backslid, aside from, pizza isn't inherently bad, but when you're eating just a chunk of it, like that, like a big plate, like 4 pieces, they're square pieces like this big, but that's still 4 pieces of pizza. And again, just trying to sort of guess as to how much it is compared to a regular pizza. So I put it in there, and I think I may have actually put more in there than should be in there, but I'd rather err on the side of caution and say, I'd rather overestimate as to how much I'm eating, and just base it off of a regular pizza slice, but this one's square, so it's all everywhere. But I just sort of wanted to at least share that with you, because it's not much good if I say, everything's been going fine and dandy and things are great, because that's sort of the reason why we started this, is just so that you're not stuck there going, why is this so hard for me and it seems to be so easy for everybody else? And it's not. It's very difficult. And especially in a situation like this where you're just too fucking lazy to do anything, that's where I'm going to end up sliding back if ever I do. So sort of getting back into it. I always feel better after I do go for a walk on my treadmill, so I'm still going to do that. Make sure that I'm still below my calorie count for the day, because I really don't want to go over. Because we've talked about this before. Planning a day that you are going to go over is not a good thing. This is actually one of those things that I could have used it as an excuse to do it, because right now there's a 4-day festival going on in my city called Rib Fest. And what they do is they set aside a huge area on one side of town. It sounds like The Hobbit, like over at the side of the town. Just you can see it from everywhere. The city's actually fairly big, so it's over on the other side of town from me, basically, is what I should say. and it's normally where a fairground is, and they've just set up all these tents and barbecues and everything, and the entire city smells like barbecue. So they just go in, you go in and you buy however many racks of ribs you want from all these different people, and I don't know if it's like a competition or something, because it's a very dangerous place for me to go. I'll end up spending my entire paycheck and exploding all over everything. So purposely avoiding that. I think if I went, normally I could probably go and with friends and just say, no, it smells great, and yes, that's fine. I'm not a big fan of barbecue sauce anyway, so maybe that's going to be a good thing. But just knowing that there's a festival like that out there this weekend for some reason, that's why I'm just going to stay at home, not shower, so that way I won't go outside, and just do that. So, and while I'm at it, to hell with pants. No shower, no pants, stay inside, I'll be safe. Except that I still have pizza here, so, which is not a good thing. But as long as I'm, eating it in moderation and not gorging, then I should be fine. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is each day, I usually go up to get my car on the hill anyway. So I'll go up on my lunch, come home, get something healthy and something proper, and then go back to work that way. And if I take it back with me and just sort of, like I did last night, just sort of slowly munch on frozen grapes all night, that's fine as well. Because there are times that I'm going to be way below just because of time constraints, and it's not great. I should be sort of staying where I need to be, but, schedule being what it is, that may not work. So I'd rather do that instead of do what I've been doing this week, which is just, I have no idea what my progress is going to be tomorrow. I'll be very surprised if I've actually lost anything. Even though I've still stayed below my numbers, I've still done my treadmill, but because of just sort of stockpiling food at the end of the night, going to bed full, just changing my whole eating schedule that way, which I really shouldn't have done, that just sort of may have done something and kickstarted my body into going, wait, no, something's different, make them fat again. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm not using that as an excuse to say, oh, well, that's why I didn't lose any weight. No, really, you can go up, you can look at my diary through MyFitnessPal. I've stayed below my numbers every day. It's just a matter of that guesstimating, which is not good. But I've been very close last night, but still below everything each week. So, and still been able to do, or each day, and still been able to do my treadmill. So it should be good there. I think that's pretty much it. That's the update to my week. Not a lot has happened, aside from just realizing that a very small change like that can completely bugger up your eating schedule. And for those of you that are out there that are working weird hours or long hours, I mean, obviously, when I was working overnight, I didn't really think of it because I wasn't really tracking anything. I would for a while and go from there, but I was on the same schedule all the time, and it's just that quick little change for 4 hours. I'm going in 4 hours later in the day, which to me doesn't sound like a lot. I know it's sort of half a day, but it did. It made a significant change, and it's mainly just that last hour between 11 and midnight for me tracking on MyFitnessPal. And I know technically I could go until 2 and still register all the stuff, but I really don't want to do that because it's very easy to forget that way and just go, oh, well, I'll put this on for tomorrow because if I put it on for today, I would go over, or vice versa. If I put it on for today, and it's 2 a.m. and say, well, technically that was yesterday, then, I'm sort of cheating that way. So I'm still going to keep it midnight to midnight, whatever I'm putting in. I just need to figure out some way of being a little more responsible for it, I guess really is the only way to do it. I think the best way to do that is just to go get my car, come home, get something that I know I have here, so I'm not spending a whole shit ton of money like I did this week, which is ridiculous, and have something that's actually good for me and healthy and that I'm not going to easily be able to cheat with. And then usually when I go back at that point, I can get a parking spot I almost said it again, right out front, directly in front of the exit. So, anyway, for any of you out there that are sort of running through the same thing, it is difficult to try to manipulate the app, which is why when we first started, we were just going to do midnight to midnight. I should have really stuck with that, which technically, well, no, I haven't, because there have been times that I've eaten something at like 12:15. It hasn't been anything as late as 1 or 2, I don't think, unless it's like an apple or something. but I've already recorded, so you just get into a really bad spot. So keep it midnight to midnight. Trying to get to a stage where you're eating properly all throughout the day, especially in times when it's really inconvenient, or if you have kids. I've got a friend of mine that has 2 kids, and she's just always on the go. So it's very difficult to try to say, well, this is going to be supper time. It's like, no, that's supper time for the kids, and then you have something else to do, and then you can try to do this, and it's just really difficult all the way around. It doesn't help that she has an idiot for a boss as well. This is sort of talking outside of school, but to give you an idea, she's gotten a call on her day off to have her boss help her open a door. And I don't mean this is, what's the security code to turn the alarm off? I mean a door, to actually push open a door. Those little door pushy flap, one of these, that's what they couldn't navigate. And they are running the business. So anyway, that's sort of what she has to deal with as well, on top of the kids and all the other things that are going on. So it is difficult to try to get into a schedule where you can say, okay, well, here's what I'm going to have for breakfast, and then lunch and dinner and everything else, or supper, depending on where you are in the world. But the best that we can do is legitimately try. For me this week, I could have tried a lot harder. Obviously, Friday went a lot better for me, except for at the end of the night. But coming home, getting the fruit, and taking it back that way is a much more beneficial option, instead of me just sort of wandering around all the different fast food places that are around me all week. So the Subway thing was, it wasn't bad. It didn't even get me close to going over for the day, so I'm happy there. Same thing with the pizza, is that, I've had it before, and just knowing that I wasn't going to go over, recording it that way, because I still had I still ate a tremendous amount of food in one sitting, which was very bad, but I haven't gone over. So I know that's sort of a cop-out to say, yes, but you're still overeating, you fat shit. I know, I don't have any excuse for that one. Hopefully, though, get back on track starting today, do my treadmill again, just to give myself that bit of a buffer, to make sure that I'm not going over, and go back out, get some more fruits and vegetables and stuff like that, and real food, and prepare it and take it with me when I go. Or come home and then take it with me. Or come home and eat it and then not take it with me and just go to work. Either way, I don't know. We'll figure something out. But that's it for this video. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please poke the like button for me. And in the meantime, keep yourself warm and fuzzy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.